morning everyone, and welcome to today's PE lesson with me, Miss Taylor. Today we're going to be playing a game called Waglum, which means scrub turkey and bundjalung. It's a game inspired by the game Keaton, traditionally played in northwest Queensland, where the movements are inspired by kangaroo jumping. So we're going to achieve 3 of our curriculum outcomes and goals for this year, including practicing our fundamental movement skills. We're going to promote fair play, and we're going to apply throwing and catching skills to propel an object and keep it in motion above the ground. So we're going to require, if you can all help me get this out, some different sized balls, some cones, and some bibs and sashes. So we're going to set up our little basketball court here, as shown in our little diagram, but I'm going to need you all to split into 2 teams, with one of the teams going and wearing some sashes and bibs. So each of you are going to have a goal on either side for the teams. So it's just the end lines of our courts, as you can see, and we're going to put the ball in the middle of the court. Now, when I blow my whistle, everybody's going to run towards the ball in the center of the court. And then, once you've got the ball, you can take 3 steps, but you then have to throw it to another member of your team to try and get the ball to your goal. So goal shots also, they must be making. Now, do you see our little circle there on our netball/basketball court? You have to be outside of that circle before you can take a goal. So our focuses today are our tactical skills. We're going to predict and try to utilize open space, and we're going to use different amounts of force to propel our ball. And we're going to also have a skill focus, looking at the force behind our throws and gripping and catching different size and weighted objects. So you might be wondering, so how are we going to score points? Well, to score points, students must pass the ball amongst their team members to try and get it to the end of the court where their goal is, in which they then have to throw it across the line. Now, if you pass the ball on its way to the goal 3 times amongst 3 different team members, you will get 2 points. If you pass the ball 5 times or more amongst 5 different team members, you will get 3 points. And if you pass the ball 10 times amongst 10 different team members, then you will get 5 points. So the rules, just to reiterate, so you can only take 3 steps once you've got the ball. When throwing the ball, you must throw it from above chest height, and it must be aimed at the player's chest or below of the other player, and players must stay arm's length distance from the player with the ball. Okay, so we've just been playing that for about 5 minutes, and we're finding, if you can see, like a little diagram when we're on the court, we're all quite cramped. We're finding it hard to find the space to find a player who can catch the ball, and it's making it a long time to get the ball to our goal. So how about we change the rules about how long the ball can be held for before being passed? How do you think this will change the game? Well, our first modification is players can only hold the ball for a maximum of 10 seconds before they must throw the ball, and the ball can not go back to the person who previously threw it. Now, if you drop the ball, or if you hold the ball for more than 10 seconds, then you have to put the ball on the other team's side, and they'll pick up the ball and continue gameplay. Okay, so we've just tried that, but we're going to freeze for a moment because I can see that certain parts of the court are being well used for most of the time, but there are parts of the court where the ball is not passing through and there's a lack of gameplay. Now, I can also see that there are people in the corners of our court that are a little bit reluctant to play, but the only way we're going to develop our skills is by getting out there and just giving it a go. So for our second modification, our goals are no longer going to be the whole line at the end of the court. Instead, it must pass over in one of the 4 corners of the court to get a goal. We're also going to change our ball to something a little bit smaller to change our grip and the ease of catching and throwing. Great work, everyone. As you can see, the more we modify the game and adapt how we're playing, the more fun it is and the more gameplay and skills that we're getting out of it. So for our final reflection before we go to lunch, let's think about, why is the ball still kind of staying in one section of the court? And next time, why don't we modify the game so the ball has to make its way from one side of the court to the other, then back to the side with the goal we're trying to shoot before a point is counted? And also, in the future, how can we defend our space to make it easier to pass to other team members? Additionally, we will look at this more in our science lesson, but why is it important to throw the ball with different forces depending on who we're throwing it to? Do we throw harder if the person is closer or further away, or do we throw it softer if they're closer to us? I hope everyone has a great lunch. Bye!